Welcome back to the news. We start tonight with a major development in the high-profile music world. The Beyoncé music theft case has reached a conclusion as Kelvin Evans has pleaded guilty to the charges. This case centered on the theft of unreleased music, and we have all the details on how this drama unfolded and what the final sentencing means for everyone involved.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we dive deeper into the specifics of this case. We look at the evidence presented, including surveillance footage that showed Kelvin Evans breaking into a rented vehicle belonging to Beyoncé's team right before the Cowboy Carter tour stop in Atlanta. We'll explore exactly what was stolen, from unreleased songs to set lists, and the incredible circumstances surrounding this brazen act of theft. Now we turn to the broader implications of this incident. This case isn't just about one theft. It highlights a massive, ongoing global music piracy problem. We examine the staggering statistics about stream ripping and the billions lost annually to digital piracy, and why incidents like this remind us that the fight against music theft is far from over. Finally, we wrap up with the final sentencing details for Kelvin Evans. We discuss the 5-year sentence he received, the terms of his probation, and the lingering question of whether Beyoncé's stolen music will ever be recovered. Stay with us, because we have more breaking news coming up right after this. The high-profile music theft case involving Beyoncé's unreleased material has concluded with a guilty plea, bringing a close to the courtroom drama. Kelvin Evans admitted his guilt and avoided trial in a significant development reported by Geo News on May 12, 2026. Evans was sentenced to 5 years in prison, with 2 years served in custody and the remainder to be served on probation. The plea deal merged a second charge into the initial count. Evans' probation terms are stringent, requiring him to maintain a distance from the crime scene, avoid any contact with the victim, and refrain from any further legal violations. The charges originated from an incident on July 8, 2024, where Evans allegedly broke into a 2024 Jeep Wagoneer owned by Beyoncé choreographer Christopher Grant with the explicit intent to commit theft. Grant reported discovering a shattered window and the missing items, which included 2 suitcases and hard drives containing watermarked tracks, unreleased music, show footage plans, and set lists for Beyoncé's upcoming Cowboy Carter tour stop in Atlanta. The theft garnered significant media attention in 2025 after police confirmed that the drives contained sensitive material directly linked to Beyoncé's performances. While Evans' guilty plea officially closes the case, questions persist regarding the recovery of Beyoncé's stolen music. The resolution marks the end of the legal proceedings stemming from the brazen Atlanta theft. A Georgia man, identified as Kelvin Evans, has been sentenced to 5 years in prison after pleading guilty to charges related to breaking into a car and stealing items, including unreleased music belonging to Beyoncé Knowles Carter. Evans entered a plea on May 12, 2026, admitting to 1 count of entering an automobile and 1 count of criminal trespass, which prosecutors agreed to merge into a single charge. The incident reportedly occurred on July 7, 2025. According to court documents, Evans' niece was driving a rented red Hyundai sedan when she received a call from her uncle requesting a ride. The niece agreed to loan the vehicle to Evans. Surveillance video presented in court showed the Hyundai pulling into a parking garage and parking next to a 2024 Jeep Wagoneer, which had been rented by members of Beyoncé's team. The video captured Evans exiting the Hyundai and accessing the trunk of the Wagoneer, where he was seen taking suitcases and placing them into the Hyundai. Victims, identified as members of Beyoncé's choreography team, reported the theft of hard drives containing unreleased music. Investigators were able to track the vehicle using license plate readers, leading to the initial arrest of Evans' niece. While surveillance showed the defendant moving suitcases matching the description of the stolen items into the vehicle, a subsequent search warrant did not yield any of the stolen property. During court proceedings, Evans referred to himself as the King Thief of Atlanta and stated that someone had informed him about the contents of the suitcases. His niece later confirmed that she obtained an iPhone and chargers from the stolen items that matched the victims' descriptions. In his statement to police following his arrest, Evans' attorney urged the judge to accept a joint sentencing recommendation from both sides, expressing hope for a future where the defendant could achieve legitimate success. The judge granted this request and sentenced Kelvin Evans to 5 years in prison, with 3 years suspended. This means Evans will serve the remainder of his sentence on parole after serving 2 years. A man accused of stealing unreleased music from Beyoncé's tour vehicle has been sentenced to 2 years in prison after pleading guilty. Kelvin Evans accepted a plea deal to several charges related to the theft of a flash drive containing unreleased songs from a team member's rented SUV just 2 days before Beyoncé's Atlanta stop on the Cowboy Carter tour. The incident occurred during the highly publicized Cowboy Carter tour, which features Beyoncé's genre-defying country-influenced album and solidified her status as a major cultural force. Investigators confirmed that surveillance footage captured Evans breaking into the vehicle. Evans had initially contested the charges and rejected an earlier plea offer, but prosecutors noted his involvement in other vehicle break-ins in the area. He ultimately received a reduced 2-year sentence, down from a potential 6 years. The case highlights the persistent issue of music piracy in the digital age. The theft of unreleased material underscores the ongoing risks facing the music industry. Global music piracy sites reportedly receive 13.6 billion visits, and stream ripping affects 29% of global listeners, according to IFPI's 2024 data. Digital piracy is estimated to cost the global creative industry over $75 billion annually, leading to the loss of approximately 70,000 music industry jobs in the United States each year. Analysts suggest that the rise in piracy, despite the accessibility of legal streaming, points to a failure within the legal ecosystem rather than a technological deficiency. The Evans case serves as a tangible reminder that music theft extends beyond digital infringement. In a dramatic development on the eve of his jury trial, the man accused of stealing unreleased Beyoncé music has accepted a last-minute plea deal. Kelvin Evans received a 5-year sentence, which includes 2 years to be served in prison, with the remainder to be served on probation, after pleading guilty to charges of criminal trespass and entering an automobile. Prosecutors presented surveillance footage during the hearing, alleging it captured Evans parking next to a Jeep outside an Atlanta building, looking inside, and stealing 2 suitcases and several hard drives. Authorities claim that Evans, who was under parole at the time, transported the items into an apartment building connected to his sister. Crucially, none of the stolen materials have been recovered. The incident occurred shortly before Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter tour stop in Atlanta. The Jeep involved was reportedly being used by Beyoncé's choreographer and one of her dancers. In addition to the unreleased music, the hard drives allegedly contained set lists and concert video footage.